Before plotting the graph, you need to know some introduction or basics in order to plot the Bode plot. So this is the semi-log sheet. So you can observe the divisions of this y-axis. So this is uniformly divided, that is scale is uniform. This is linear scale. The y-axis is linear, and you can observe the x-axis. So from point 1 to 1, it is the multiplication of 10 times the value is getting increased. So we can call this whole from here to here, we can call it as one decade, because 10 times greater than the previous value. And also here also in the second decade also we can observe that here the starting value is 1, and in the next value it is 10. So it is a multiplication of 10. So this is also another decade, and throughout the x-axis you will be having the multiples of 10. So each division is called as decade, and it is non-linear scale. You can observe the difference between one division to another division, from point 1 to point 2 and point 2 to point 3. So the distance between point 1 to point 2 and point 2 to point 3 are variable. It varies. So it is non-linear. That's why you are going to use this for logarithmic values. So for example, if log 10 is 1, so for larger number of values, you can't plot the graph in a normal linear graph sheets for the larger values. That's why you are going to use this semi-log sheet for plotting or marking for the larger values. But in the y-axis, you can use linear scale, that is the distance between each divisions are equal. So this is linear. So that's why it is called as semi-log sheet, because semi means half. Log is logarithmic scale. So only the x-axis is non-linear and it is a logarithmic scale, and the y-axis is linear scale. That's why it is called as semi-log sheet. And while plotting the Bode graph, so you need to mark the values of frequencies in x-axis, that is 0.1 radian per second. Always the frequency must be represented in radian per second, and that is that varies from 0.1 to any values, even for thousands you can mark it. So 0.1, 1, 10, 100, these are the multiples of 10, and in the y-axis you can plot the magnitude, that is in terms of dB. So consider 0 as a reference line in the magnitude plot. Always 0 is the reference line, so we need to consider 0 dB as a reference line, and the above values are positive 20 dB, 40 dB, 60 dB, and the below lines are negative values, negative gains. And here note to plot the phase plot. This is regarding the magnitude plot, and this is regarding the phase angle plot. So you can mark these values for phase angle in the left hand side as well as right hand side. It is for you, it is based on your convenience. So I'll be marking the phase angles in the right side and magnitude in the left side, because we need to avoid overwriting of this magnitude and phase angle values. So better represent or mark all the magnitude values in the left hand side of the semi-log sheet, and mark all the angles, that is phase angles, in the right hand side of the page, that is graph sheet. So it will be better. And next, the concepts of Bode plot. You need to understand some basics of Bode plot before plotting it. The open loop transfer function g of s is considered always before plotting the Bode plot. We need to consider the open loop transfer function g of s or g of s into h of s. That is the open loop transfer function. And if the g of s is in the pole 0 form, always it will be in the pole 0 form. K into s plus z1, s plus z2, z indicates zeros, and in the denominator poles in the P1, P2, P3 indicates poles. S bar n is nothing but it is the pole at the origin. And also zeros at the origin can also be present. And next, rearrange this in a time constant form or Bode form. Always all the transfer functions will be in the form of pole zero form, that is in this type of expression, that is k into s plus 1, s plus 2, s plus 3, like that it will be there. But in order to plot the Bode plot, we need to rearrange this expression in time constant form, that is nothing but g of s is equal to k into 1 plus st1, 1 plus st2. The coefficient must be present along with the s and it must be added with 1, that is 1 plus st1, 1 plus st2, and in the denominator also it must be 1 plus sta, 1 plus stb, t1, t2, t3, t4 and ta, tb, tc may be any constants, but it must be with the s function only. This is the generalized transfer function factors in time constant form. To get the frequency domain transfer function, we need to substitute s equal to j omega in this expression, because we are plotting the frequency response. Bode plot is a frequency response. So in place of s, substitute j omega. G of j omega will be getting this expression. So for this expression, how to find out the magnitude? That is magnitude of g of j omega. It gives 20 log. We are finding the values of magnitude in terms of dB. So we are applying the 20 log logarithmic value. 20 log k for this term. 20 log k plus, because this term is in the numerator itself, so we are adding plus 20 log 1 plus j omega t1, 20 log the second term minus 20 log, this is the denominator term, so we need to put negative sign, and 20 log and the two terms. So in this way we can find out the magnitude of the open loop transfer function, and the phase can be obtained by angle of g of j omega equal to tan inverse of omega t1 plus tan inverse of omega t2. So tan inverse of imaginary part divided by real part. Here imaginary part is omega into t1 divided by real part is 1. So instead of writing 1, we can directly write it as tan inverse of omega t1 plus tan inverse of omega t2. In the denominator, we can write it as this. Here in this term, the real part is absent, only imaginary part is present. So we can write it as n times of tan inverse of imaginary part is omega divided by 0. Real part is absent, so 0 we can write. So anything divided by 0 gives infinity. Tan inverse of infinity gives 90 degree. So here 90 degree minus tan inverse of omega Ta minus tan inverse of omega Tb. So like this we can find out the phase of j omega. Next, last one, the given open loop transfer function magnitude will be consisting of, first term is constant. It can be any value, any numerical value, that is k, poles and zeros at origin, that is s bar n. It may be in the numerator or denominator. If it is in the numerator, it is zeros. If it is in the denominator, it is pole at the origin. So only imaginary part will be present, real part will be absent. Next, see poles or zeros on real axis. It will be in the form of 1 plus st1, 1 plus st2, like that. So the magnitude of k can be obtained from 20 log k, any constant. If for example k equal to 10, so we can find out the magnitude of that k as 20 log 10. 20 log 10 gives the magnitude of that particular constant. And slopes of poles and zeros can be obtained, and for each and every poles and zeros we will be finding the slopes. So how we are going to find the poles for s? If s function, that is 0 at the origin, is present in the transfer function, then we should consider the slope as plus dB, 20 dB per decade. If it is present in the denominator, that is 1 by s. S inverse is nothing but 1 by s. This is pole at origin. So for S it is plus 20 dB per decade, for 1 by S it is minus 20 dB per decade. And for S bar plus or minus n, for example S square, for S square it is plus 40 dB per decade, for 1 divided by S square it is minus 40 dB per decade. So S bar plus or minus n gives plus or minus n into 20 dB per decade. So this is the generalized expression. So these are the, and also for other poles and zeros other than origin are 1 plus st power n means n times of 1 plus st if it is present in the numerator, that is in the numerator if it is 1 plus st square, then the slope of this function will be plus 20 dB per decade. If it is 1 divided by 1 plus st power 1 or 1 divided by 1 plus st, then the slope will be minus 20 dB per decade. So depending on this power we can define the slope. So if it is, the power is 1, if it is positive 1 it is plus 20 dB per decade, if it is negative 1 it is minus 20 dB per decade, if it is plus 3 times of 20 dB per decade. So the sign depends on the numerator or denominator function.